Tatia Hao, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to see you here. Before I start my presentation, I would like to thank Kohim Corporation for inviting us here. It's a great honor, great pleasure, and great opportunity for us to show what we do and what we know for the world. And second thing, let's support my colleague Ksenia by a little applause, because she's doing a great thing right now. Thank you. Sia. So again, my name is Yuriy. Yeah, I am the co-owner of Flower Bazaar and Moscow Flower School projects. And Flower Bazaar project started literally from nothing in 2011. Yeah, it was just me and my wife, but thanks to hard work and the talented team that we gathered, we managed to become a top 10 in Russia for wedding and decor. And Moscow Flower School was launched in 2014 as a logical continuation of Flower Bazaar knowledge and experience and techniques. From the very beginning, we put quite a challenging goal before us, is to make sure that the students who graduate from our school get the most up-to-date knowledge and can apply them in real work. We did a lot of questionnaires, and also we traced students' activities after they graduate from school. And basically, the result of this research is reflected in this presentation. So probably the first question that every launching educational project should ask themselves is, modern florist, who is it, artist or a seller? Indeed, how deep should a florist go into the science of art, of the history of art, the science of proportions? And on the other hand, how good he should be at his selling techniques and in communication with real clients? Of course, there is no single answer for this question. But we answered as follows. We don't know how many artists this world needs, but we surely know how many craftsmen and craftswomen our industry needs at the moment. And that's why in our educational materials we focus on the commercial side of floristry. Let's briefly describe what the Russian flower market looks like at the moment. According to official statistics, average we consume 1.77 billion stems per year. Absolutely most of the flowers are imported. There are two occasions when people spend their money on flowers. First one is weddings. The wedding season starts from end of May and it ends at end of September. Okay. Yeah, and there are four major holidays when people buy bouquets, and they are Women's Day, of course New Year, and also the beginning of school and Mother's Day. So at some point, we noticed that there are two different floristics, let's put it this way, depending on the holidays, on the occasions. Right. So we divided our courses of floristry into very logical, right? Into event and retail. The courses for event floristry, they deal with weddings, obviously, and retail floristry deal with the major holidays. Now I would like to briefly show you the difference in the floristry for retail and event. So the event floristry, it usually goes as a project work. So it goes like this, when it escalates at the beginning of the project, then the climax, the project itself, and then you relax. And then again, like this. On the opposite, the retail floristry is usually a daily routine, you know. Event floristry is usually working with the big scale arrangements, usually from 1 meter and whatever. Yeah, bigger. Retail floristry at the same time work with small scale, like bouquets and maybe some basket of flowers, but up to 1 meter. As you've seen from Valeria's previous lecture, event floristry, they always try to change assortment, always in search for new varieties. At the same time, retail floristry is working with permanent assortment, and actually it's good for business. Of course, there are some seasonal changes, but mostly it's permanent. Also here, I would like to mention that it's okay for our students to go, for example, first to event floristry, and then change their mind and study for retail floristry. But as our experience show, sooner or later, each person decide on only one direction, either retail or event. Because if you want to be a professional, you have to focus on one thing. So who are our students and why do they choose floristry? So the general portrait of our student is a woman aged 25 to 38. Men represent only maybe 5%, unfortunately. And usually, of course, there are some extremes that we can have a younger student or older students, but an average is this, 25 to 38. They usually come to our courses when they want to change their life. Mostly they come from the such spheres as lawyers, bank workers, financial, IT corporations, and they studied in the university, and then suddenly they decide to change their mind and add more creativity to their life.
Right.
Also, very common case is ladies on maternity leave, who also think about changing their profession at this period. By studying this fact, we understand that grown-up people need a special approach in the education because there is a special way of science called andragogy. Yeah, this is the mechanics that allow grown-up people, the adults, to gain new knowledge. Here is the 4 specific points that we figure out watching on our students, how the education for grown-ups differ from education for students of university. The first point, they forgot how to work by hands. Really, we all work like this, typing all the time. We lost the connection between the brain and the hands. I think a lot of people know what I mean. So each time they have the booklet in their hands with all that various terms, they go crazy at the first time, at the beginning. Second thing for grown-ups, they have other things to do. They have their husbands, kids at home, and whatever.
Yes.
Therefore, the information should be given in portions. Also, very interesting thing is that we noticed as well is that grown-up people need to make mistakes to understand the rule. I think it happens because when we are 18-year-old students, we tend to believe what our professors tell us. And when we are grown up, we think that we have experience of their own, even though we are first day at floristics. So the floral works we do at our courses might not be ideal, but they are done by we allow our students to make mistakes. And when they see the results, and they understand that the teacher was right, actually. And the fourth thing is that grown-up people need to know what's next, meaning that they have to understand what career waits them ahead in their new field. It's actually a psychological phenomenon because in any age, the world is open to us. But at some point, we start thinking that we need to be serious and we need to understand what's next. Based on this request for the career certainty, we build the following structure of courses. Each direction, event floristry and retail floristry, has 3 levels. It's important to say that the first level is the same for event and retail because the basics are the same for both directions. But then the educational programs differ very much. When they finish the level 1, they can go as an experienced helper. I think the profession of the helper is highly underestimated in the world of floristry because actually these people have to know a lot. They have to process flowers. They have actually the sustainability of flowers depends on their work, and it's important to know the basics. Level 1 is the most popular educational program at Moscow Flower School. Second level is the florist, is the core, the basic of a floristry business. The people who actually do all the work and don't sleep at night, they go to wholesalers in the morning, all the stuff. Everything rely on them. And level 3, it's our newest course that launched only this year. Because before that, our industry do not understand who is the chief florist and what's his responsibilities and why he should pay for that. The chief florist may not touch the flowers so often, actually. They mostly work with the managing team, with schedules, with design, and with planning work. I think Ksenia was let's put it this way, the first chief florist in Russia, and based on her experience, we made this program. Yeah. Also very important is field experience that you should give to students, because at school, there's no way you can make the same atmosphere as on a real project. Yeah, and we encourage our students to join our event projects, to taste it actually, yeah. And I should say that some people quit after that. According to our statistics, about 40% of students quit profession after they tried it. But we are very proud that another 60% stays in the industry. And also, the last question which I'd like to discuss now is the online education for the floristry. It's actually a very controversial question. Some florists think that online education is actually quackery.
Yes.
And it can be done because you always need to have the connection between the teacher and the student. But of course, we cannot ignore this trend. So this is our answer to the current situation. So on each level, the students, bless you. On each level, the students receive first the online part of the course, and then they come to our studio and have the rest as an offline course. I can make a few examples for you to better understand what I was talking about. For example, for level 1, we did a few videos where we show the wholesaler. So we asked the wholesaler to make to show us how it all works, all these boxes, all the treatment, and our newcomers, they already know what's going on when they come. And also, we showed them the work of a retail studio and an event project. For the second and third level, we showed them video lecture on trends, on typical mistakes, something that can be shown on picture and underlined. Yeah, so as you may notice, we do not give the exact floristry knowledge in these online lectures, but there are a lot of things to show except the floristry that connects with that. So what do we get as a result? First of all, students get more information. Obviously, they can watch the videos for several times. They can skip if they don't like to watch it, or they can watch it on a slow motion to understand everything. Next thing is students are prepared. When they come to our studio offline, they already know what we are talking about. They understand. Even the newcomers, they just come and actually start working with flowers. The third thing is students are being rated. Of course, these online platforms allow us to make tests, to check the knowledges, and the teachers know in advance what students are, study better, and what students need more attention at the offline part. And last but not the least is the school cuts the cost. Because, every minute of our studio costs money, and every minute of our teachers costs money, obviously. And when you have the video, you simultaneously save on it. So that's it for today from me. I would like to encourage you to use all the modern technologies that actually can do floristics better, so that we can release better students. Yeah. For example, Google Forms allow us to make questionnaires, allow us to make tests. Various chats and social media allow us to trace the students' activity after they graduate. Online video platforms allow us to share our knowledge worldwide. And even the automatic translation system are getting better and better every day. So you can translate your videos and share it to the people who speak another language.
Yes.
So thank you very much for your attention. Here's the last slide. Waiting for the party. Yeah, and that's my WeChat. If you have any questions, feel free, because it's empty and it's set. And let's finally switch our attention to the beautiful flowers.
那接下来我们就看这个旁边设计师他这个作品做得怎么样。
Thank you. Thank you.